Okay, good morning.
Shir is sponsored the Refuah Shalema for Ruven Ben Malka.
We're up to Lama Gimel, that's what Yosef said. Shinchav Ches, Lama Gimel, Mishin Chos Refuah. Goneach. Goneach is someone who has, we don't know exactly, it's not clear exactly what it was, but the Refuah was some sort of pain in the heart, chest, I don't know, stomach, it's hard to really know. Mutter Lina Kala Behema. The refuah was to drink milk directly from the animal.
Could it be heartburn?
No, I don't. It's hard to know.
Hard to know. Okay.
Just, I mean, if you first could try it out and see if it works.
No, milk is one of the natural.
Yeah, I know, but why Dafka? It's Dafka drinking sticks and they can drink it.
Bad heartburn is can be terrible.
The Makom Tzara will go to Rabbanan because the Makom Tzara not going to Rishon. She ain't no Elot Tzara Shel Rav. Let's say the guy's really hungry and the only thing around is a goat and he wants to, drink the milk. Also, Shabbos, it is also because we're making for Tzar of Refuah, Tzar of hunger. That's obviously the guy is dying, Píkuach Nefesh. We're not talking about that. We're just talking that, he's hungry, he's very, very hungry. And we're not, it's like Mechush Ba'alma, we're not matir this because it's a shaila of refuah. It's also a shaila of mefarek, that you're taking the milk out of the animal. Lo seikal isha chalav b'dadeya l'socha kais l'socha k'deira l'sanik es b'na. It's also there's an issue of a woman expressing milk into a cup or into a k'deira, and in order to go ahead and to get her milk flowing, for the kid to eat. But this is not. We're going to get into it a little bit. We get into the issues more into the issues about expressing milk when she's in pain. So later, Simon, when a woman's allowed to pump, not allowed to pump. But upon the basic Isser, which is talked about over here, is that there's an Isser of Mefarek, that expressing milk is an Isser of Mefarek, and therefore, obviously, a baby's allowed to nurse, but to express into a cup is a problem, and later on we'll see about about they express it onto the floor, and it's a lo nichale, and it's not, whatever, but we're not, this is the Yisod over here. Here it's Stam, there's no reason. She wants to, and also not talking about a case where she can't get milk out and baby needs to eat. These are all different. This is a very simple thing. For her to get the milk flowing, she usually expresses milk into a cup, and whatever. So, that's not. You shouldn't do that. She can go ahead and express a little bit of milk, so the baby will want to nurse. Also, I guess there was some sort of refuah, someone who was, the ruach ra, he's going a little bit crazy or something. That I don't know. I don't know exactly what the refuah is, but obviously it works somehow. Whatever that's, or I don't know. That's also there's no sakana. For baby there's sakana, but for this guy or this kid or whatever it is, there's no sakana. Ein lo asim matzlichi. It's some sort of gum, some sort of resin or something. The little shafim ba shidayim the refuah. It obviously was. It helped with refuah, for whatever refuah it helped with. Even but if you're chewing it because of bad breath, mutter, and so therefore the place can say that using mouthwash on Shabbos is mutter. Some are even machmir for but also cleans like plaque and all these things or whatever. So it's not just for breath, but it's already pushing. It's mahogis. But the pashtus is from here that things which are you can go ahead and you can go any mavirech generally is mutter, and even if this you're putting anything in your mouth to get rid of bad breath is fine. That's not really refuah. Kol achlim umashkim shemeichel brim. So this sif is an important sif. Kol achlim umashkim shemeichel brim. Any food or drink which is a meichel brim, which healthy people drink also. Mutter la'achlan ishtosin refuah. The classic example is cranberry juice. Someone who has a UTI, so people like drinking cranberry juice, but it's also a refuah for an infection, urinary tract infection. So if that's the person's kavana, so then it will be mutter afal piken, even though he has das for refuah, because it's meichel brim. Afal bishehem kashin liktzas brim. Now maybe if you take a stronger dose of it, or it's a bit bitter and not everyone likes it. Muchamilsa the refuah of it's clear that he's. Some people take concentrated and whatever, they get stronger. It's clear that he's doing it for refuah, because no general person would drink such a strong cranberry flavor. I feel like shari because people can eat it or can drink it, and that's fine. Something which is not taken or drinking or drunk by healthy people. Also, the awful which also refuah. Then it's also to go ahead and drink it for refuah. But it's only usher to someone who taka is something's bothering him or hurts him, whatever. Who is chazik for holach kabari, but he has a bit of a headache, he has a bit of a cough, whatever it is. That he doesn't, it doesn't, it's something which is he can function. But ain't no shum mechush, but if he has zero mechush, mutter, then it's mutter. Therefore, this is the heter for also for vitamins. Place your amount of taking vitamins, because if the person, because it's general to Michael Bream, and it's also people who take it. If the person's sick and he's taking some sort of vitamin, supercharged vitamin to go ahead and make him feel better. That might be an issue, but in general, like for example, let's say the person has a cold and he goes in and takes 5 vitamin C pills. That would be muchachos for refuah. That would be a problem. In general, vitamins is he has no mechush, he has no mechush. So then that would be mutter. So too, if someone, like before, someone who's nafal l'mishkav is considered chalik kol gufo, and therefore medicines are mutter, lachas d'rabbanan, are mutter for that person. So therefore, it will be mutter. Mutter le'echol srafim metukim ligmoa. If you have a sore throat, it's mutter to go ahead and suck on candies, or to dry throat, I would say. Or to go ahead and gargle with a raw egg. That's what the chazanim do. That's okay. The hanim makol, that's not mamish for refuah. It's just for
it's preventative versus refuah.
Right, or it's not only that, it's also the hani makol, it's just to make his drive. I make this voice clear. Ein oisim apiktoizin, pirashar apiktoizin, klomar hosi mazon, what's called in English epikak, or it's making a person vomit. The hainu gramas kiya, that makes a person vomit. Afilu b'chol, Hashem Hesed. Ochling, because that's you're being mafsid oichel with that, and therefore during the chol it's also to do it, because it's referring to what the Romans used to do in what's called the vomitorium, that they would go ahead and they would eat until they're stuffed and then throw up, and then so they could eat more.
Which is now modernly called bulimia.
No, the bulimia is they throw it up so they don't gain weight. There they didn't care. They just threw it up so they could eat all day.
Eat more.
Eat all day. Yeah. The image star of Michael, but the person's bitzar, bechol mutar afilu b'sam. Then that's bechol. You could take anything, whatever medicine you need. A person's feeling sick. But with Shabbos, also b'sam, mutar biyad, it's also to take some sort of Epicac, some sort of medicine, but a person can make himself throw up with using his finger, that would be mutar. Choshish b'meyav, someone who has a stomachache, mutar litain alehem kois she'eru menu.
So what's the isser on the Píkuach? Because it's not an achila.
No, it's a type of refuah.
It's considered to be a type of refuah. It mamish makes you sick.
Well, making you sick is if you have a stomachache. That's the thing.
So it's considered to be a refuah.
Right.
Okay.
Choshish b'meyav, mutar litain alehem kois she'eru menu chami, afal pi shadayin yesh bo hevel. Let's put a hot compress on it, hot water bottle, or this is a hot cup or a hot water bottle, something like that. Go ahead and to calm it down. Mishinishtaker, someone who had a little bit too much by the Oni Shabbos. As sure for us, lots of kapos yada v'ragla v'shemen v'melach. I guess they try this. I don't know. They put oil on his hands and legs. Mutar l'sucham v'Shabbos. Nowadays, people drink a cup of coffee to try to remove it. And also, even if their kavanah is just to go ahead and to clear up their head, it's also mutar because it's shichros is not necessarily considered a chol. Ein misamelin the haine shedoris al haguf b'koach and sheyigia v'yazir. Now it's a little unclear what we're talking about over here. We're talking about B'Shoyev actually. What we're talking about is exercise or massage or something like that. The Rambam's Masha, though, this is Lashon Rambam, is it's yiga v'yazia. So a person exercises in order that he should, break a sweat, and the sweating is the refuah, so that's a problem. Some say it's a massage. I did look up the poskim about what about physiotherapy and things like that. So that's not really included in this. Here we're talking about heavy duty exercise. Let's say, there's also a thing of the chol. Person wants to go jogging on Shabbos. There's running. Let's say it's not jogging. Let's say he wants to do a workout on Shabbos. It's to the chol because that's what that's something which it's not really a Shabbos-like thing. And if it's like a heavy workout and he's sweating, so it's also considered a refuah. If he does some light stretches because he just needs to stretch, whatever, a little bit of that the person can say is okay. And like I said, physiotherapy and other things like that was people and do every day is matter. But also litchol kreisel shaltina it's also to go ahead and to squeeze the stomach of a baby to go to the bathroom. Obviously, we're not talking about a case where the baby is tsar and screaming and constipated and whatever, and you're helping him go along. That's obviously that's mutar because the baby is you're allowed to do it for a baby. It's just talking about it's easier. I don't know. You want to go for a walk, and you don't want him to. You think it's a way so you can go to the bathroom before you go. So that would be awesome. Mutar lichvais kois cham al tabor la aloisai. Supposed to do some sort of cupping where you put it on the belly button and you pull it up. Also, znayin bein miyad bein bekli, and to pick up someone's ears. If they're like flopping down or something like that, maybe on the bekli. Alos umkli hayotznuch shekeneged halev niflach l'tzav pnim, or some sort of something which is like active in the shima, something that's pressing on his windpipe. I don't know. These are different types of refuah which are not done with medicine. It's done by some sort of physical thing. So it's never done with the medicine. It's never done with the medicine. There's no gzeira of shchichas salamanim, radiational tsar, and he has tsar. So then you're allowed to do it. And generally, even if it's a bit of tsar, you're not allowed to go ahead and do that unless the person's kol both. But in this case, in a bit of tsar, this type of refuah is okay because they're not choshish for shchichas salamanim. Your person can go ahead and wash himself. The whole kol gufa, I don't know about, but you can at least say wash part of his body. in Tveria, in the Kinneret, Yom Gadol, Yishehem Meluchim, even the Meluchim, Shkein Derech Lichos Behem. The derech to go ahead and to swim, like a hochach the refuah ka'avi, even though it's going to help him for whatever reason, it's not clear for refuah. Although, not like the gross water in Yamagadol, Mishra, Shemausim, also Yamamelach as well, would be the muchach to refuah. It's not there to go ahead and to swim in it. Yeah, floating in the Dead Sea, I don't think it's called washing yourself or swimming. It's all basically used on for refuah. Ela refuah. The dafka shashar behem. It's only if you're soaking in it. If you're not soaking the limb, you're just putting some water on. Mutter she'eno nira ela can make, or a person obviously steps his feet in or something like that, and it just looks like he's cooling himself off, even if it's the Dead Sea or any of these sulfur springs or whatever it is. It's near Kamekar. Lo Hashem ala Nachashim v'Akravim b'Shoshli Yaziku. We saw this before, that you can go ahead, a person's a snake charmer, he knows how to go ahead and to calm snakes down, or scorpions, or whatever it is. In Chachashim Tzeda, that's mutter, there's no Tzeda on that. Noisin Kli al Gabi ha'ayin lahaker, you can put some sort of Kli on the ayin to cool it down. Vushi Kli anital, the Shabbos also not a muksa Kli, even though it's a Kli which is Lakal Shul, it's also what it's used. Etzem Shiyasu in Kaimai, a bone which popped out of its place, Machzir Noisoi. So this is the whole thing that I think we have to discuss this a bit, but just to bring out the Shailenberg of Ram says that the Lush of the Gemara is if it's a broken bone completely, if the bone's completely broken, so then you're allowed to go ahead and to set it. The Mishnah Berurah is very interesting. The Mishnah Berurah says that no, it depends. We're not talking about broken. We're talking about if it pops out of place and how much it pops out of place. I remember when I was a kid, a friend of mine was sliding into third, and he really dislocated his knee. You could see the bone. It was like you could see it completely, not out of his skin. It was completely dislocated. The Orach Shulchan calls the Mishnah Berurah's chiluk divrei nevius. He says, how do you know how much it popped out? It didn't pop out, and you can do it before, can't do it before. It doesn't make any sense. He says, obviously, if it's a broken bone, we're talking about setting the bone. That's something which is mutter. It's a aver. That would be mutter. But dislocation what he says is basically he says what's going on there? He says the Rambam doesn't talk about this before. And he says an interesting thing. He says, Elamai, the Rambam was, there was a doctor. And it's also the minor is also a shmuel, is also a doctor. And he said basically the reason why the Rambam left it out, because the Indian, the person has to go to a doctor. We can't go ahead and judge something internal. We don't know, is it broken, is it dislocated? We can't make these decisions by ourselves. Well, it's only a little bit dislocated, so I'm not going to go, or it's a sprain. And obviously it's a sprain, it's an obvious sprain, but sometimes you can't tell and you don't know. So we'll see. You go to a doctor. I'm not saying whether you're allowed to Chal Shabbos for this. That's something else. That's not, dealing with the Chil Shabbos. But Al Kapanim, we're talking, let's say, you have someone on Salah knock on his door, or you go, whatever, so that he can make a decision. Whether you call about obviously it depends if it's obvious a broken bone. So some say that it can be garment a sakana, depends when, what, it's all unclear.
How severe the break is.
Yeah, if you have to speak to a doctor, question is what you do with Chal Shabbos. If you can speak to a rabbi, it's hard to make these decisions. So whatever. We shouldn't be in those situations that happens. Whatever. Also, so you can't wrap a clothing on a wound because the dam is going to tzazam on a red. Let's say it's a red cloth or something like that. Also, lahotzi dabe amaka, and it's also to go ahead, and we had this before, of squeezing or dam out of a maka, because that's mafar. It's either Shoichet, Ram says Mefarek, You can wash it off with water. You can wash off the dam. You can go ahead and you take spider webs and wrap them around the makkah, and it stops, covers the blood. Then there's any problem of tavea. You can wrap something on top. Agav, someone points out, you see from here an interesting thing, that you're allowed to go ahead and pull spider webs off the wall on Shabbos. There's no Isser of Soiser. But the other is L'tzorech, it's okay. So if you see a spider web with a big spider, you're allowed to go ahead and knock it off on Shabbos. Also, L'sum Psila Píkuach Tabas. Can't put a suppository in the Píkuach Tabas. And there, Shenoagi Lasas of Ishu Altzor. Now, here we're talking about, we had something similar in Shin Yud Beis, about what you're allowed to do to try to open up, if it's constipated, they would put some sort of stick, and I don't know, whatever. This is what we're talking about, this also, that they would put some sort of stick in to go ahead and to help open up the muscles so that he would be able to go to the bathroom. So you can leave it there, but we're not talking about the person. This is not talking about what we have suppositories nowadays, which dissolve. Here we're talking about putting something in and it's staying there. So therefore, but if it's but if you to put to obviously it's for it would be answer, but you don't have to be choshish, less choshish nowadays to put some sort of suppository in.
22 minutes. Your choice.
We'll start the next siman. Píkuach Nefesh. Kol Píkuach Nefesh doiche Shabbos. In general, din is any Píkuach Nefesh is doiche Shabbos. Whether it's Hutra and Tuchuya, we get into that. Zaris and Meshubach. Right? The Zaris is Meshubach. Right? There's no cheshbonos about it's a Shabbos Píkuach Nefesh. Doesn't make a difference. Let's see the story about I think it was Volozhiner, Haim's brother. So once they saw him. What was it? He was running barefoot through the snow without a kippah on Shabbos, holding a candle. What's going on over here? After what's going on? It's the Isser, whatever. He said that I think there was for a woman, she was a lady. I don't know the exact thing. Shalom Píkuach Nefesh. So he ran back, grabbed the candle from his house, and lost his kippah on the way. But Píkuach Nefesh, so he was running through the snow with the candle on Shabbos because Píkuach Nefesh, it doesn't make a difference. No cheshbonos. I remember someone pointed out, someone asked a shayla to Rav Kohen and said, well, if my wife's in Leda, and they put a sign up, I should leave, so what should I do? How I should leave, how many minutes should I leave? And he's like, it's Píkuach Nefesh. If it's Píkuach Nefesh, you call Shabbos, then you're allowed to be in there if you're a Kohen. First, put things in perspective. Zaris and Meshubach, also, if we're talking about a case where it can wait, so you want to call a goy to come help and to drive to the hospital, then we have all these things, whatever, that's fine, but if it's a case where it can't wait,
don't be a chassid.
Don't be a chassid. Get in the car and drive. Whatever. Feel enough with Leikim Mechotzer Acheres Yomi Shetavor Mechotzer Zu V'Yavol L'Dei Sakana Mechavi Kadesh L'Tavor. If you're worried about the sakana, if there's a fire on a piece of furniture in your house, you don't have to sit there with cups and putting water around and trying to don't do that. You just put it out because it's a sakana. If it's in a place on a stone floor where it's not going to spread and something's burning there and you want to go ahead and say, fine, it's not going to spread, but if something is any chashash at all, then you just put it out. You shouldn't play games. And we'll stop here and go back to